ugly. Give me a minute. I'll put it right here. Ooh. It's still rough, huh? What if I just wanted like behind me lit? Maybe? Trying to fix my makeup. Ah! Hype train. You guys are too hype. I can't even get my life together. You guys are hype. I'm hype about, I don't know, streaming. Is this the second Monday stream? I don't actually know, maybe the third. So I don't know, like, I can't really tell in this lighting, but my foundation definitely does not match my actual skin tone anymore. So it looks like kind of like a weird ghost. How tall am I? 6 foot. It's 2 a.m. You know, I asked the people what time they wanted to stream, and everyone was like 9 p.m. So here we are. But I like earlier streams. So if you guys want an earlier stream, next week could be an earlier stream. You just have to put it together and be like 2 p.m. or noon. I gave you guys that option anywhere between 12 and 9, and somehow 9 won, so. $6 a.m. or 6 p.m.? It's a big difference. This is good. She's getting ready for a shoot. That's her little set going on over there. Is the music too loud, by the way, or is it okay? How are we feeling? It's better now. I look like a weather reporter. Today's weather is shitty. I wonder if this would turn it down. Or if that's just gonna turn my volume down. I don't really know how that works. Oh, that's just a light I put on the background. So it looks cool, see? Nope. We could choose whatever color we want. What color are we feeling? I just put red, but this thing has like a bunch of different colors. That one's kind of cool. Just makes me very yellow. That's alright. Spooky story. I wish it was like cool. If I just start a horror party class, I just read scary stories. The music is too much because I don't want to talk that loud. Alexa, volume 5. Alexa, volume 3. That's a little bit better. Okay. Side note, we got an I bought an espresso machine when we were in DC because I have about 0 impulse control, but I was also like, you know, in the long run, it will pay for itself because we get Starbucks all the time. And it has, in fact, paid for itself because I don't think we've gotten Starbucks since we came back, which has been quite a while. So that's already like, we have pretty ridiculous orders. So it's like $5 or $6 a coffee there. It's crazy. And that, us together, that's like $12 to $15 a day. So every 10 days, that's like $150, right? And then like the Nespresso machine itself with the like the milk steamer and the machine itself, I think was only like $200. And it came with like a bunch of samples and stuff, and then it's pretty good. I like it. I was like 10 out of 10. How long have I been growing my hair? My hair just has always really been long, except for the like 2 times that it wasn't long. Because I had like a phase where I was like, I want short androgynous hair. And then another phase was, got gum in my hair. I had to get it cut. We went to like a barber and they butchered my hair. It was so short, like this weird bob. Ugh. The shorter my hair is, the more curly it is. So we avoid that at all costs because it just is unmanageable. I can't braid it. I can't put it into wigs. So the longer it is, like the more like easy it is to like, I guess, force to do my bidding because it's like, it takes up a lot of room. Tips for growing it. Don't use heat products. Sleep with silk pillowcases or like silk bonnets. Put like leave-in conditioners in it, especially ones with SPF. Don't brush it, like over brush it. And then do a bond conditioner thingy. I did have shorter hair. It was like, one time it was like here, short, and then one time it was like short. It was not cute short. Like you think you're like, oh, yeah, short, like ruby rose hair. No, absolutely not. It was more like yeah, like Will Ferrell, probably. Or what's the guy who likes llamas? Napoleon Dynamite. Tip for don't. That's fair. Not cutting it helps. All right. So the last time we were working on house coat, I think I was making diamonds. I hated those diamonds. They were so small. They were the peasants' diamonds. So we're gonna make the queen's diamonds, which means it's gonna be twice as big. I'll like go find one of the diamonds so you guys have reference, but we're gonna make a way bigger diamond. Meat moot. You know, I actually don't know where any of the diamonds went. It's concerning. Huh. Weird. There's like a bunch of tiny diamonds. I guess they're hanging up somewhere. Oh, you like my like super fancy cute attire? And by that I mean my sweatpants and Look, this is because we're all in like Yuri on Ice hell for the rest of my life. Nick, I love Victor. We're just one day we'll get ice adolescence. One day. What did I get up for? What do I need? What? Oh, I don't know what the triangles are. I gave up on that.
No, they are.
Where?
They're in the cube, right up here, maybe. Top left on the second one. Next to where my wigs are, on the next shelf over, top left.
Oh, look at that. Diamonds.
Yeah, I found them all over the dog.
Fair enough. Alright, let's go do the paper. Ow. Look at this. Alright. Let's see. Excuse me. Alright. We may return to business for now. Oh, that sounds terrible, actually. Yeah, right? They were like, look at this movie and all this promotion that they released for it. They're like, I feel like at this point, like, they're never gonna release it, and it's just like an inside joke that they've got. They just like to release like a little promo that they've already got shot, and then they're like, you wanna see what they're gonna do with this? And then they just cackle to themselves. Who knows? That's what I assume is happening. Alright, time for some origami. It's not actually origami, but that's just fine. I thought this would work out. It's not working out the way I thought it would. I'm trying to figure out what I'm... You know those like stupid like tricks they teach you on how to make like perfect shapes when you're like in kindergarten? And it's like 37 ways to fold a piece of paper. And then once you figure out all the ways to fold a piece of paper, you know how to make this one shape without like just getting a ruler. Which would be the fast and simple method to fixing that, you know? Regardless, we exist in the make it as difficult as possible land. Let's see. I don't have a ruler with me, but I do have this other piece of paper. So, hear me out. I mark on the other piece of paper how big I want the top to be, and then I just match it to the bottom, and I just won't actually know how big it is, but it will match technically. In theory, let's see. Yeah, this is a totally sound theory. I want you guys to watch the scales. It's gonna be like a really unflattering angle of me, but that's okay. Yeah, that's probably even. I think I wanted to only go like kind of halfway. That looks relatively like halfway. Doesn't look like it matches. There's perhaps a dilemma on my part here. Oh, I see. I got this. What is this song? We push and then we pull out. Okay. In theory, this should be relatively the same now. And now we're going to use this piece of paper to connect the dots. Because nobody has time to find the ruler in the house. But this will also give me a chance to see if, I actually like how big the diamond is. Or something like that. We have the pleb's diamond over here. Look how small this is. I was like, this is a perfect diamond. Well, it's all measured out and everything, right? Absolutely not. I don't know why I thought measuring things out and acting like a professional would have worked for me. It does not ever work for me. You guys are going to be so impressed by this diamond. I'm impressed by this diamond. Okay, I messed that part up. That's fine. Shh. We're just not going to talk about that. We're going to fix it. Neat. There you go. Look at this diamond. Wow. Look at this sad excuse for a diamond. He fits. He's sad diamond, good diamond. I feel like it's still too fat. Like Howell's diamonds are like really tall but really thin sometimes, and other times they're not like that. But maybe we will do this other one and see which one I like better. Who knows? Okay, that's why we're testing it out on this nice piece of paper before I transfer it onto fabric, and waste even more fabric, because I totally wasted like, I guess that's not that much, so I only cut out like a quarter yard of diamonds. But that was a lot of time wasted. And time is money. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You're a sad diamond. Why are you a sad diamond, Suki? I feel like this is it. I feel like this is the optimal diamond shape. The royalty-free playlists are just so strange. They're like the most repetitive songs ever, which is my least favorite thing in all of existence, by the way. Okay, so that inner diamond is, I think, kind of where I want to be. So he looks a little crooked, but ignore that. He's probably not crooked. We're gonna find out. He's a little crooked. But nobody will know, it's fine. You guys will know, but that's also fine. Is he a lot crooked? I don't know, we're gonna find out. In theory, he should fold into a perfect diamond. In theory. I just realized this. I figured out the fold that is supposed to make like a perfect diamond. Uses this sharp side of the scissors. Hopefully it doesn't cut the little guy. Okay, so he's kind of even. He's good enough, you know? Nobody's perfect, and that's the moral of this story. But he's a good enough diamond, right? He is very perfect. But that's okay. It's okay. We're gonna try this method that I just figured out because I'm foolish. What if I just folded this perfectly, right? You came here for a crafting, like a Howl jacket tutorial, but in reality it's just like kindergarten arts and crafts, and that's what we're doing today. Meat moot. Taco, chicken, and mac and cheese. Sounds pretty good though. Okay, so here's my theory, right? Where's my little paper that had dots? There it is. All right, so this should make the perfect diamond if I'm correct. So that was the short nonsense, perhaps, and then I think the big one was like something like this, relatively, give or take some, and then that looks kind of right. So in theory, if I cut this perfectly, it should make like the perfect diamond. Let's find out. Moment of truth. A perfect time. Look at him. He's so good. Let's look at your crooked brother. Somehow this one looks taller. Oh, one's just thinner. I see. All right, let's try it again. Look at this diamond. This is like, you know, when you make snowflakes. It's fine. I'm gonna have a lot of patterns. That's the moral of this story. So I made the mistake of making the slightly bigger one last time, so let's make the right one this time. I think it's this one. And then Okay, this is the final attempt. If not, we're using Crooked McGee. So fold it into 4, draw this nice line with a piece of paper, right? And let's cut it out. This is it, guys. This is... Ooh, he's getting a little crooked. Quit that. He might be okay. He looks kind of okay. Yay! Look at him. Where's my other diamonds? Diamond squad assembled. See? So this is what, the second quote unquote perfect one? I think it was this one actually. He was a little bit too fat because I used the wrong thing. Though he is really pretty, so I don't know. Which diamond do you think is better? I do kind of like him. And this was the first one. He's a little crooked. Imagine them all together. These are kind of nice. These thin ones. Thanks. Oh, I haven't seen you in a hot minute. Hello, Starboy Blue. Welcome to my stream. Where were you making diamonds? Pretty nifty. Wow. We could have just gotten a ruler, but that's absolutely no fun. Instead, origami. It's not really origami. Origami is a way more like intricate and beautiful art form. This is far and few between. I actually don't know if that's how that phrase goes. It's okay. So again, we got side diamond, new diamond, or this might be the new diamond. I haven't decided which one I like better. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all these tiny diamonds. They already have like heat and bond on the back of them. I'm pretty good. How are you? Con, are you crunching? I'm not crunching for any con. Wildly enough. This is actually just a project that I'm working on. To shoot. I do like a lot more photo shoots where I just make the costume and then plan a location and then shoot it, I guess. Then I do like conventions, I guess. Who would do, you know what I mean? Perhaps. I used to do a lot more conventions, but now that we work so many conventions that we like take Airbnb breaks instead of like convention breaks, if that makes sense. Okay, let's see. Actually have to find heat and bond because I have like the heat and bond light in a roll. I have to make more of that. But for now we have this pre-made one, which was supposed to be for the tiny diamonds that we made last time, but we're gonna use it for the new diamonds. Thank you. Cake time. So this one better? This guy? Right or left? Which one does it? What are we feeling? This one? It's a pretty nice diamond. He was a mistake, but he could be the one. Let's see how he looks placed on the pattern. So last time I was here, I cut a pattern for like a jacket and I just made it work, or it was a t-shirt, I don't know what it was. Either way, I decided I didn't like it, so I trashed that pattern. Well, I didn't trash it, I put it in a bag. And then we're gonna use this men's button-down pattern that I've altered significantly and hope it works out. So I've like, you can tell where the pattern ends and where I've decided the pattern ends. That's fine. This is how, as long as there's a lot of room to work with, like there's a lot of room for error. Look at this. That'll totally work for collar, maybe. I also changed my lining fabric idea because I wanted it to be a little less busy, so I got like this one off Amazon. I'll show you guys later. It has not come in yet, technically. It's supposed to arrive tomorrow, I think. That's the back of the sleeve. I showed you the front of the sleeve. This is the back of the jacket. Like, it's like a button down. Oh. And then this is the front of the jacket. Moop moop. This is where we'll be putting our little diamonds. So this is honestly the I'm gonna pin them on there and see which one I like better. Cosplaying for me is kind of just, you know, seeing where the wind takes me. With very expensive fabrics. Weirdly, I think I kind of still like the, this one. I think I like him better. Oh my god, it's so obnoxious to work with. It just frays and you have to like serge all of the ends and then burn the ends before, if you want to like them to not like do this. Let me see this. You know, I'm just gonna, yeah, we're gonna go that way because I feel it in my bones. So it's about the time I wish I had a yardstick. You could just be smart and go get a yardstick, guys, but if you're really that lazy, you can just trace every single diamond onto paper by hand. That is also an option. Is it the smartest option? Absolutely not. Ugh, I do not want to do this. Okay, where's the yardstick? Hey babe, do you know where the yardstick is? We don't know where the yardstick is. I can't hear you, it's fine, don't worry about it. These are so small. I'm doing good. Negan's being a menace. He's being quiet now. Liz is doing makeup for a makeup test or like a photo shoot. The most difficult outfit I've made is Sephiroth. His coat was like so intricate. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm looking for yardstick. Excuse you, sir. Alright, I got 2 things I needed. Heat and Bond light. If you're gonna sew through Heat and Bond, use this one. Just love your machine. I used to sew through the like heavy duty one. And it was a mistake. We'll just say that much. My poor machine. Pecan. Oh my god, crumble is so good. For absolutely no reason, honestly. Look at this, we're getting somewhere. Diamonds. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. Woo-woo. So you guys know when you're just like, my house is probably haunted. That's fine. And you just ignore it. Like, we have a 1-story house, right? But like throughout the day, I'll just hear it. It sounds like someone's just walking upstairs. Like, you know, when you have like a 2-story house and you can, it sounds like the ground, like the wood's squeaking, like someone's walking across. Yeah, it just sounds like that. Often. Intriguing, really. Should be mildly concerning, but if we ignore it, then the ghosts don't know we know. That's my theory, my running theory on the whole situation, honestly. Four hours away, dang, that is a long time. Yep, goodbye. Yeah. I'm glad that we're all on the same page where you just ignore it. What's the ghost gonna do? Get mad at you for ignoring his existence? I was like, he probably is minding his business and I'm minding my business. So far, we've had a good existence together. But I'm pretty sure the mysterious gas charge on my electricity bill is from him. Because there's no gas being, like, JEA and everything. Like, the city has come out and they're like, yeah, you don't have any gas being used on the property. And yet they still continue to charge me for gas, so I've just decided to blame it on the ghost. Look at this, wow, diamonds. Oh no, I would not do a Ouija board. That's like, you know, the minding your business with spirits. A Ouija board is the exact opposite of minding your business. That's like the picking a fight of the supernatural world. You're just like, people are minding their business and you're like, what if I ruined that? Oh no, yeah, we don't have a basement. We don't have an attic.
Do you remember where we put the little, like, automatic remotes?
They're probably in the bag with all the other filming equipment, which is next to the wigs.
Oh, gotcha, yeah. Gotcha, okay. Negan! I swear to God, I can't see. I'm careful over you, bro. Like, knock it under my feet. Ah, yes. Oh, yes. Verily I must win.
Verily you must dinner.
I don't want to give him dinner. He's pissing me off. Ugh. So much. Like, it only sucks because he gets right in front of my foot as my foot lifts, and I, like, have to catch myself from falling.
Mm-hmm.
Can you move? I can't even get you cat food because you're all in the way. Move. Stinky man. Hey, why are you over here? I gotta go this way. Move.
I've got shit to say. Mm-hmm.
What is this? What did you get? You were getting chicken tonight.
He's like chicken.
Only donkeys feeding cats. You know, if I was really donkey, she wouldn't put up with this.
She wouldn't. I don't think she would have a cat. She's a villain.
But I'm bought. You should know how lucky you are, Negan, if you're alone.
Exactly. He should pay his own damn bill.
You talking about Negan?
No, I'm talking about the ghost that lives in our attic. That's probably using the gas.
No, buddy, please.
I was like, you can mind your business and I'll mind my business and you can give me a share of, utilities each month. It's not that hard. It's actually quite fair.
Alright, he's been given food.
Mm-hmm.
Full donkey, but it's time to feed him. He has deemed it so.
He deems it so at the most inconvenient times of anything, so it's his favorite thing to do. Docky does kind of act like a cat. The character.
This character?
Mm-hmm.
He does, yeah. I'm sorry, Noodles. Knocked off your light. Your secret camera or whatever.
I feel like I was supposed to be taking progress pictures of this process. But it's okay. I'm just gonna be like, I was streaming on my phone. How was I gonna take progress photos? I think I was doing it on the DSLR. LOL, that's a lot of work. I'm just gonna draw a picture and be like, this is what I did. I'm working on Howl from Howl's Moving Castle. So I've got a never-ending amount of diamonds I've got to cut out. I actually don't think this is going to be enough diamonds, so we're going to have to cut out some more diamonds. Meat moot. I have so many Genshin characters I want to do, guys. And I'm like, it's a lot of wigs to buy. So, it may or may not happen, honestly. Also, I'm trying to get myself out of the, really bad habit where I'm like, if I cosplay the character, I have to have their whole canon outfit, blah, 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 blah. Which, I don't know where that came from, but somewhere on the lines I thought it, because I used to do a bunch of AUs and whatnot with random characters and never have their actual outfit. I want to get back to that because it was faster, a lot more fun, and not so serious cosplay, you know? You could do a I think military or like sniper AUs were pretty popular, and they were like, they had like a whole like shooty squad thing. I think that one was like popular with like the sports animes for a while. I know like the techwear thing is another one that's kind of been like a more recent version of that. But yeah. So I kind of want to do like suits, like a suit version of Genshin characters. Like everyone gets a suit, because I have a lot of suits. I think it might be nice. But I still have to acquire the wigs, so I just put a bunch on my wish list, and as I get through the months, if no one buys them off the wish list, I'll just buy them. But only in like a reasonable, fits in my budget speed. So I think that's like a reasonable idea. I do have a few wigs that I actually have to buy. Because I have the costume. Like, I need to buy a child wig, because I have child's costume.
Okay, so this is in frame. I'm trying to figure out what's in frame or what's not.
I can move the frame.
No, you're good. I think I'm fine now.
Okay. With that pretty little thing, baby.
Megan, I swear to God, you've eaten, go somewhere. Not in frame. Don't want to pet you right now. I will pet you when I'm done working. Thank you, sir.
See, I'm also spoiled by Arda, but I'm also willing to compromise because if someone's like willing to buy a wig, I will take the extra insane amount of time to style it. Because like Amazon, you can make Amazon wigs work. It just takes about 2 to 3 times the effort to get them to work the way you want to. Meanwhile, like Kazo wigs and Arda wigs are just superior in like wig fiber, heat resistance, styling ease, thickness, whatnot. But they are more expensive because of that. Like Kazo wig seems like it's not that expensive, it seems pretty reasonable, but then you get to the shipping aspect of it and it is a bit outrageous. It also takes forever to get in. It takes like 17 to 25 days or something insane like that. No, who is planning that far ahead? I'm not planning that far ahead, so I should be, but I'm not. Side note, speaking of planning ahead, I bought a Lloyd Forager, what do you call it, suit, because I love suits and I don't know, I just really want to do spicy stuff, but I want Liz to be like Yor. She got this cute outfit, so I was like, well, now I gotta buy a suit. So I was like, I have to be part of this photo shoot one way or another. So just know that's completely thirst motivated when you see me cosplay that character. Let's see how many actual full diamonds this got me. Not many. All right. So I got 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. 18 diamonds out of that. That's probably about one side. Which means I have to make more. Wait, who's making that amount of pre-planning? I'm not. You know, it's weird because I'm like, I let people, like, if people don't like snakes, I'm like, that's to each their own. I was like, I don't think snakes should have such a bad reputation, for sure. But at the same time, I, like, personally hate scorpions. I hate them. There's just something about them. I was like, I feel like I was attacked as a child by a scorpion, and I remember it vividly, as one does with traumatic experiences. And you know, I have never forgiven their entire, like, little species of, are they an arachnid? No. I don't actually know what they are. Regardless, I have not forgiven their kind since, so. I understand when people are like, oh, well, I don't like this because I have a reason to dislike snakes. Say they were bit by a snake or something. Then you have a pretty good reason to not like snakes. It's like people who are, like, bit by dogs and they're no longer like dogs or cats and whatnot. I was like, it does not give you the right to be cruel to the animal, but I can understand your dislike for them due to past experience and whatnot. See? Yeah, dragonflies, like, most people like dragonflies. Actually, lower this a bit. Centipedes just remind me of Tokyo Ghoul, honestly. Oh, okay. My espresso. More diamonds it is. I don't know what this music is. Side note, this fabric is by, like, Cosplay Fabrics, and it's the absolute, like, perfect color for Howl's coat. I don't know if that was on purpose, but it makes my life far easier. Last time I did this character, I had to, like, find specific fabrics and custom dye stuff, and I was like, I hate that. It takes like 10 times longer, and then if you run out of fabric, you're kind of screwed because you custom dyed it. And just a horrible experience altogether. So when we moved out of the old house, I left the cutting board, right, or the cutting board, foolish, the ironing board, because it was kind of perishing because it was like a house of cosplayers, or it used to be a house of cosplayers, so you know how that goes. And I haven't got one, but I got this nice little pad, and he's heat resistant from Amazon, and I just ironed everything on that, so kind of fun. It takes up less room too, so that's kind of cool. Alright, let's see. Stop! You guys are cute. Also, Liz will probably be pleased because she's doing Goro, so we can do Ito and Goro now. Also, I think it would be just fun to do his makeup. Probably won't do like his whole costume thingy for a bit because his costume is ridiculous. But I would put him in a suit. I would definitely put him in a suit. He has suit vibes. How goes your shoot, baby? How goes your shoot?
Pretty good.
Side note, Liz bought a maid outfit, so I was gonna try and put her Thoma on, right? Because she's gonna do Ayato. So me and Liz say this name differently, but I've heard her say it so many times that I say it a different way now, and I'm like, anyway, so. Ooh. Yigi. Oh, it's not good for that. Where was I going? Oh, maid outfit. Ayato, and then I was gonna just try and fit her Thoma. I might have to make my own pants. But her jacket's big on her, so it should just fit me, hopefully, barely. And then we're just gonna do like this fan art we saw where, what's the name? Thoma's like, oh, gay panic, basically. Should be fun. Expect that in the horizons. We did just finish filming a CMV, and it was one of those like sick fix CMVs, right? And I was like, well, how do you like incorporate like a spicy scene into a sick fic? And then I was like, so we emptied out like a cold like the cold syrup bottle, and we put grenadine in it, and we just made that part of the CMV. It's a very saucy scene. Saucy. That's so nice, thank you. Well, in your honor, I will style it Thursday then, when it arrives. And you can know when that picture comes out on Instagram that you're the keeper of that capability. I don't know what that phrasing was, but you know what I mean. Like, you made this happen. But thank you. It was very nice of you. Well, you can thank It's Maya, not Mia, because they have purchased his wig, so enjoy that. Send them all of your massive what do you call it? Gratitudes. Words not working with me tonight. Speaking of Amazon, I got an Amazon package today. I don't know what's in it. I think it's a workout, like a workout equipment. I'm very determined to be like very buff by fall. I was just like, I would like to be, because I was like really buff for a while, and I'm kind of like slacking lately. I was like, I'm not like I haven't lost all my muscle, but it's definitely not as pronounced as it used to be. So we got to fix that, because it's a crime against the anime boys that I'm cosplaying, that I cannot do more ridiculous things as them. So also, like, I'm gonna do like the new movie Thor thing, because Liz is gonna do. Can I tell them?
What?
Jane.
What?
Thor movie.
Oh yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah, so Liz is gonna do Jane Foster, but from the new movie, like Love and Thunder. So she's gonna do the like really intricate armor and stuff. And I'm just gonna do the easy Thor outfit where he's wearing like some jeans and a t-shirt and like a vest or something. But my arms have to look good for that, so. Working at it is. 2022 buff year, yes, absolutely. You know, I'm not that insane yet. Jane, yeah, Liz is in love with Jane, so I don't know why you're surprised. And then clearly when she has like the Jane Thor armor, Lady Thor armor done, we could do like her ship, which is like what do you call it? Locane? Mm-hmm. Locane. And then we'll both be in armor, so that'll be interesting.
The only Thor key ship that actually is okay.
It is the only Thor key ship that isn't controversial. Technically. Beep boop. Good night, Ellie. Go to bed, have some tea, sleep, dream of anime, women and men, you know, as one does. Alright, that's nice and heated. Always protect your brocade. This is like an ironing thingy. I don't actually know how this works or what it's made out of and why it works so well, but this little cloth thing, you can get it at Joann's. It's like an ironing cloth. I get the sheer one because the white one I can't see through and it drives me absolutely up the wall. So this one protects your little brocade and you can still like superheat it. Poop poop. Which is pretty dope. You know, that's fair. They said when we posted Strange and Christine, they for a second thought you were Jane.
Oh, did they?
And they're like, oh, I just thought it was another obscure Jane ship.
Yeah, Jane can be of anyone.
To be fair, the Marvel Universe and their female protagonists don't have much variation.
They really don't.
Outside of
I love Rachel McAdams and Natalie Portman, but they look almost like they could be like this related.
Yeah, I was like, the only exception to that is Guardians of the Galaxy. And now we are having some like differentiation with like Spider-Man, but for a while there, it was very like not a lot of flavor going on in between like different types of like casting and whatnot. Velvet says I was very willing to support it regardless. You could have had another obscure Jane ship. Side note, there's so many Doctor Strange photos, and I will make a Dropbox for you guys so you can see all of them for patrons and whatnot. There's quite a lot of them. Okay. I'm gonna let this cool a little bit for a second. Put this guy on the ground so I don't burn myself by accident. Where's the flavor? Where indeed? Where did my diamond pattern go? Stop. I'm gonna feel bad, okay? No more buying wish list stuff. You guys have too much power with that. Too much power. I appreciate you nonetheless. It's still too much power. Oh, would you recognize that diamond pattern anywhere, Max? Would you?
It's like, I just said that, yes.
Hmm?
It's like, yes, I just said that.
What a conveniently placed pink and blue diamond pattern. Whatever could it be? Mystery. Oh, thanks. That's so sweet. I'm always baffled when people are like, "You're my favorite cosplayer." I was like, why? But I mean, what's a little like cosplay without a little bit of a self-depreciation? I was like, if I had self-confidence, I'd be unstoppable, so there had to be some character flaw in me. I have like confidence in like really obscure science stuff. It's about the only confidence I have. Like random knowledge, I have confidence in. Self-image, absolutely none. So that it's a trade. It is what it is. Also, my birthday is still 2 weeks away, so it doesn't count yet. Liz did get me a very cute sticker and pin today. I will share it in the Discord because I cannot share it to the public. How do I get this to... What am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing. Oh, I see where I didn't do this guy. Meet moot. Absolutely not. Tears and panting. Yeah, Max actually is madly in love with Howl. Just so everyone knows. Like, he's never loved a character more, so. You buy him stuff, just make sure it's only Howl based. Can't stop, won't stop. Is that what it is? I actually don't have any way of stopping you guys. I guess I could hide my wish list from you, and then you'd have to actually really work to find it. I would probably do that just for the amusement, honestly, because there's just chaos. It's all that reigns supreme in my mind. You okay?
Yeah, this one light does not want to like stay
Ooh, a chaotic ship idea. I'm intrigued. I do have a Discord. So I have a Patreon Discord, but I might make a Twitch one. Liz has a Twitch one, and I get a lot of questions about Discords and whatnot. I don't know though. We also have a YouTube Discord that we should probably use. Maybe I'll just use that one more often. Because I feel bad that it doesn't get used as much as it could. It deserves a little bit of love. Plus, I'm very determined to get us back into like a regular schedule for CMB posting. So, the goal is there. It's just a matter of following through. Mute. I would dare. I would dare just because I like to just cause mayhem at any given moment. It brews in me. Wait, what? What did you say? It's saved? Saved where? You have it saved. Absolutely. I don't actually know how to thwart you now. What if I made a different one? I just deleted it. Didn't exist. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's my checkmate. You guys are gonna be like, what do you want for your birthday? And I'm gonna be like, just delete wish list. I want nothing. You guys give me too much, no more. Like a little mafia boss of wish lists. It's got to go. It's got to go. It's got too much power. How do I feel like this diamond idea is not going as well as the first one did. They're kind of slanted, but you know, it's probably fine. We're gonna see if it's a big issue when I cut him out. If he's a little crooked, that's okay. See, I told you, whenever I use like measuring equipment, it just doesn't go as well for me. I'm so much better off just, I don't know, holding on a prayer, whatever that phrase is. Okay, but if it's like a bookmark, but if I delete it, doesn't it disappear even off of your bookmarks? In theory, right? Oh my god, what if I made it private? But you still have the link. I don't know if that works. I'll have to test these theories later. Yeah, this is definitely not going as well as the first batch, but that's okay. It's fine. I'll make it work. Maybe. Okay, so they look good, right? But they are definitely kind of crooked. I don't know how that happened, but it's alright. It's fine. Where did the scissors go? Meat moot. It's like a good challenge, you know? I was like, if I had like underhanded methods, I think that's a Gemini trait probably. I've embraced it fully. Funny enough, the photographer that does like most, like that we work with most of the time, like he's a close friend of ours. Me and him have the identical birthday. Like, we were both born on June 3rd. It's so wild. So we like to just be like, we are the twins. Like the Gemini twins, so. To be fair though, my mother is also a Gemini and we couldn't be more different, so maybe we're the twins. Listen, you guys are getting a little wild. You gotta calm down. I'm on my stream. I can't take these links down right now. Why are you sharing them like they're free milk? Too much. Speaking of free milk, my favorite coffee creamer in existence is the M&M's like coffee mate creamer, and they had it in stores, right? They had it in stores for like a stupid amount of time, and I never tried it because I'm not a huge fan of like mocha flavoring and whatnot. And then we got it one day. I think Liz like suggested it, and I was like, sure, I guess I'll try it. It was mostly for Liz, right? And then I was like madly obsessed with it, so I drank most of it too. We tried it. It was delicious, by the way. It tastes like an M&M, like a liquid M&M. It's incredible. And then we went back to get some more when it ran out, and it just wasn't there. It was gone. And I was like, you know, that's one of life's greatest disappointments, is that Coffee Mate did not keep the M&M coffee creamer out for a long period of time. Like when I'm old and on my deathbed, that's going to be one of the things I complain about. So whoever is there listening to me, I'm going to be like, in my day, there was M&M coffee creamer. But Coffee Mate's is a little bitch and took it away too soon. It's been going pretty good. You know, we're just making diamonds for Howl's coat, and we're chatting about really nonsensical things. So, about a usual Monday evening. I don't know why I chose Mondays to be my stream day. I do know why I chose, because I asked you guys what days you wanted, and you said Monday. But Mondays just are like days where like things don't go according to my plans. It's very funny. They're very much like a case of the Mondays, whatever that phrase is, but it happens every Monday. Like I have a whole set plan for the day, and it just goes to shit. So it's very funny that I chose this day to be the stream day. Right? It is delicious. Oh my god. Did you enjoy Doctor Strange? No spoilers in the chat, but it was delightful. It was a good movie, a good time, if you will. Oh my god, speaking of which, funny story. So we watched Doctor Strange when we were still in the Netherlands, right? And we did not have any thoughts in the world. We went to this movie, right? We're sitting down, and the first part of the movie is in Spanish, right? And so we're watching it, and it's in Spanish, and then it clicks in our mind because it's in Spanish, and the subtitles are Dutch. And I'm like, is this whole movie gonna be in Dutch? With Dutch subtitles? Are we not gonna know what anyone is saying?
Sir, I know you have other places to lay. It's not in the middle of the photo set.
He's like, actually, it is in the middle of a photo set. So yeah, there was a mild panic, but then after the Spanish scene, it went back to English, and we're like, that would have been a very awkward 2 or 3 hours, however long that movie was. Regardless, it was a good time. Theaters in the Netherlands are gorgeous, and their popcorn is delicious. And America is severely lacking in the theater game. In the quite a lot of game, actually. But it's okay. I've accepted America and her trash fireness, I guess. For now. Who knows? The border control is also like way different. It's like so happy and upbeat overseas, and then when you get back to America, the border control is just like this very Manila room. It looks kind of like the waiting room in what do you call it, Loki, like the Time Variance Authority. And I'm like, that's fair. Not inviting at all. That's fair. It started out as in Spanish in a Spanish-speaking country. You would be like, "Wow, that's cool. They dubbed it," and then all of a sudden, it's not dubbed anymore, and you're like, "Lame." In theory, he could have done a dub because he was doing pretty well in the beginning. So he could have made that a reality. We did say trash fire. We were talking about America, though. I hope this is enough. Enough diamonds. Yeah, that's fair. It's kind of their theme is being uninviting to entry. Side note, cost of living in the Netherlands, so much more affordable than America. Except if you have a large car, then it is not that affordable. Which I guess would suck because me and Liz have matching cars. What's amphibia? Side note, did you know that, like, just, like, I lied, that's a spoiler, I can't say it, never mind. It just has to do with, there is, like, an LGBTQ plus moment in Doctor Strange, and it is very cute, but it is the reason it is banned in a lot of countries, which is so crazy to me. I was like, how long is it gonna take for people to get over the idea that people can like the same gender? It's such an innocuously stupid fucking thing to be like, I don't know, have your like ass in a twist about. I feel like that's the wrong phrase, but you know what I mean. I'm just like, I don't understand, like, how does that affect anyone else? I'll never understand. Blonde or black-haired Howl. You know, I want to do both. Because I want to do his little feathery look, kind of. But, like, not a full feathery look, but, like, an aesthetic little feathery look. I prefer the blonde Howl. Liz prefers the dark-haired Howl. But I think it's because I'm attracted to blondes, and Liz is attracted to dark-haired people. So I think it's a bias, if I'm being honest. Also, black hair just washes out my skin tone. But look at me, here we are with dark hair again because I don't want to dye my roots anymore. Hair towel. Black or blonde hair towels? Which would you like? This is really cute. Like, it's like a satin bonnet, right? It's on Amazon, and it's got like, it's like white satin or like a cream satin. It's got like little butterflies all over it. It's very cute. It's for sleeping. I was like eyeballing it today. It's like, perhaps. Right now I have this really weird one that we got from like a Daiso, and it's got little Shrek ears. I don't know what kind of creature it's supposed to be. Blue Shrek, I guess. It's really funny looking. I'll go get it so you guys can see it. It's very funny. I sleep in that right now. Eek. You ready for this? So how you wear these, right? For my people who are like, how do you grow long hair? So my hair is actually too long for this, and that's why I was considering getting like one of the silk bonnets because. So you put it on, right? Ugh, this is not gonna work because my hair is dry. But say your hair is wet and it's doing what you want it to, right? Meet moot. Okay. And then like you're supposed to like tuck this here, and then it like, this is way easier when your hair is wet, but you spin this and it's supposed to fit in your hair. My hair is way too long for this, so I have to like kind of like roll and shove it in there, right? And then like you twist that, right? And there's like a little loopy boy at the end of this. And then it just like buttons to the top. Look how attractive this is. This is a look. Right? It's pretty great. And it just stops breakage, basically, and it dries your hair at the same time. But either way, it's not that cute, so I kind of wanted to get a cute one that all my hair fits in. There are actually ones with cat ears at the like mini Daiso, so you can find one of those. Just know we don't have one in Florida because Florida sucks, but if you can find one, that's where you'll find them. We got those in, was it Texas? No, it was not Texas, it was Virginia. Bunny overlord. So this, let's see how many diamonds my second round got me. 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15. This one's missing the tip. Just the tip's gone. Oopsie. Hopefully that's enough diamonds because I don't feel like making any more. Wee woo. Yeah, there might be one on Amazon. Look at him just causing mayhem over there. Whenever I'm doing like OnlyFans pictures and like shooting like pictures of my butt, you know, as one does, he just gets in the frame or he gets in the way, and I'm like. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, were you doing something? And I was like, no, clearly not, sir. He's just a menace to society. Like, I'm a menace to society, he's a menace to my society. He's just a menace to me in general. So, yes, technically, they're going to be heat and bonded, right? Down first. Because I used sewable heat and bond, which is the purple tube. It says sewable. Make sure you use the sewable one, not the red one. It is the permanent one. But you want to get the sewable one because if you just heat and bond this down, the edges will start to fray and it'll look real ratchet real quick. But if you get the sewable one, you can satin stitch the edges or zigzag stitch the edges. And it'll prolong its longevity of the coat. So maybe if we're feeling a little wild, I could do that part of it. This is the front of the coat, right? I'm gonna put these for now. Oh, there it is. I actually haven't done like con crunch in some time. I guess technically I had like a con crunch for the con we guested at in the Netherlands. Velvet, there's a really cute bonnet I was talking about earlier. I'll put it in the Discord later so you guys can look at it. Very cute, very cute. It does have butterflies. Reminds me of Shinobu from Demon Slayer. Let's let's see, how did I have this folded? Whoever created and decided how patterns were folded and the material they were made out of, I just want to send a strongly worded message to them. Just saying. So this is the front. And I cut it on the seam so I knew exactly where the middle of the jacket was. And basically we're just gonna put a bunch of diamonds on this. How I like to do it is I like to start basically from like, I pick like a spot. So you can pick like here, like just a random spot if you desire. And you just like lay them out. And if they overlap a little bit, it's okay. We're not perfectionists here. We're like, that'll do. That's basically where we're at here. Neat. And then you can take like, so these are like the pieces that didn't have like full whatchamacallits, right? And like, so some of these pieces look like this, right? Where it's almost a diamond, and those work great for like collars and areas where you don't actually need the full diamond. So I'll be using those near the collar, on the edges. This one would be great for the top, I think. Maybe not. Maybe the bottom, we'll see. These ones where they don't have the side are good for the side.
No, sir. No, buddy.
This one would be good for the sleeve because you don't need like that full look. I don't think something fit on here. Oopsie. That's fine. So basically, I just kind of throw them down. Some of these are, oh, this is an edge one, this isn't a full piece, gotcha. This would be good for here, right? Need like less of one. Cool. Obviously you are gonna want to pin these and like place them a little bit more sporadically. I'm just kind of trying to get like a gist of if I have enough diamonds to begin with. And if I do have enough diamonds, cool. If not, I have to cut more, which is lame. But I think I have way more than enough diamonds now that I'm like looking at this. In theory, I don't even think I need to use like my partial diamonds. I have so many diamonds. Yeah, I have literally enough diamonds to just do the whole coat. I wanted to. It's messy, but look at that. And I have like some backups in case something goes awry, as it often does. I can throw these guys over here in case I want some long bits. But this will be mostly seam allowance on the side, so probably won't end up being necessary, if I'm honest. But just in case, I'm gonna lay them there. And then, yeah, look at that. And then we have some backups in case something goes wrong, as it often does. And wow. I wonder if I could show you guys a little bit. They're a little sloppy, but this is basically what it's gonna look like. But like straighter, as you know. Meat. Because they're just so crooked right now, but you know what I mean. So it'll generally look like that, but flat. Go back in your prison phone. So nice. I think we got pretty decently far today. We got farther than I thought we were gonna get. I was gonna iron these down, but I need to like put this on the ground and like space them out properly before I do that. So I'm just going to collect them in relative order of how I place them. And then just lay them back out once I have like a little bit more room. Because the table's cool for streaming. Not so conducive for laying stuff out and like pinning it and everything, because it's like, it's only so big. Cool. And then these are my diamonds that are being used. These are my scrappy bits for any mistakes. And then that's that. Wow. I'm pretty excited. I really want to go to a really like beautiful location and then have like Liz have Sophie and like do some really pretty Howl's Moving Castle pictures, because it's like my favorite Studio Ghibli movie, or Studio Ghibli technically movie. And you know, it's what it deserves. So that is my goal. I'm gonna make a new jacket, and I'm gonna make a new top and some pants and a whole new everything. Get a new wig for him. I think I have a new wig for him actually. And we're just gonna reshoot it, because we shot it like a year or two ago. I did not like the pictures that much, if I'm being honest. But we have like really bougie rings and stuff for them that we got from Amazon. They're not like super Canon, but they're beautiful. So they're Canon enough in our minds. You're very welcome. If you have any questions about mayhem sewing and whatnot, you can ask me. I will try my best to answer it. I was like trying to think of like a fun, because I think Howl will only take like one more stream to finish. Because what I'm gonna do in between this month, or now and next Monday, is I'm gonna like heat on the diamonds, and then probably satin stitch the edges down, like zigzag stitch the edges down. But I'll do a little video so I can show you guys how that looks. It's just very time consuming, and it's gonna take a few hours, and it's kind of boring, so, and loud because of the sewing machine. So it's not very stream time, fun time kind of thing, you know? Boop. Boop. get that shoot be done before or after Loki's? So Loki's shoot I want to do first, but I don't know if I want to do it at the house or like at a really bougie B&B. I was like, because I want it to be like really like posh kind of BDSM shoot, if I'm being honest. Like I want it to be like really pretty and ornate, but like also like have like pretty ropes and whatnot, or like chains and whatnot, because it's what he deserves. Like bougie chains and like satin bed sheets and whatnot, and maybe some fur, who knows, whatever I'm feeling. But I will say you will see Sashomaru sooner than later because I've agreed to a contract. I shall not say any more than that, but yeah, you will see him soon. Sooner than later. I know a lot of people were asking about him on, I think on my Doctor Strange, actually. They're like, wow, you look great as Doctor Strange. When are you going to do Sashomaru again? I was like, what? How is this a coinciding thought process? They do not look anything alike. Ooh. I have to sweep, but he does deserve the best. He just sits over there. Like, I also want to do like a legit shoot for his new outfit that I finished, because I shot a few, like I shot like a little bit at Hallmat, but I was in and out of a mask all day, so my makeup was kind of trash, and the lighting was horrible in the place that we were taking photos, so I'm not very happy with them, and I didn't really get like any of my own pictures, so yeah, gotta shoot that because I worked really hard on that, and my hands suffered for the amount of doots that are on that costume, like the little like zipper teeth. You guys want to see Loki or? I think that was a very pretty set. It didn't get a lot of like positive feedback, but it was a very pretty set. And it was like a simple one too, because we literally just needed like, I think we had a candy box, some flowers, and some rose petals, and that was it for that shoot. I really don't know what to do with these other diamonds. I guess I could make like a tiny Powell's coat for Negan or something, but I think he's more of like, I wanted him to be the Scarecrow or the little kid. Can't remember the kid's name. You remember what the kid's name is? Marco? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely... Or Calcifer. He's probably Calcifer. Oh, good night. Have a good sleep. Good dreams, you know, about anime men or women, whatever you're feeling for the evening. And I'll take a picture and put it in my story when we get, or when they arrive on Thursday or whenever they arrive. Is your handle on Instagram the same as your handle on here? Maybe. Maybe he would be turnip head. Any conventions? So we are confirmed going to a few conventions this year, but I cannot say them yet because I haven't finished making the announcement videos and stuff for the events. So once I do that and submit that and I have like the clear to announce that I'm going, I will announce it as soon as I can. I will say one is, I can't say that actually. It's too much of like a on the head of the nail kind of giveaway, so. Me and KK, no, it's Maya. How do you say your name? Your last name? McKeon? It's an interesting last name. Does it? Thanks. I was worried about it because I put it on and I realized like so once summer hits and like the sun is at its full power, like.
Oh, is the AC too loud?
No, you're fine. My like even with sunscreen on every day, my skin starts getting like color really fast, and then it no longer matches my foundation. So I have to get a foundation that's my winter shade and one that's like my like assumed summer shade, and through the entire summer process, like the transition into it, I have to mix my summer shade with my winter shade, and it changes by like a shade every week, or like half a shade. It's Irish. I understand that. My last name's Irish. They're all over the place. Like sometimes they're really easy to pronounce and sometimes they're absolutely atrocious to pronounce. Good night. Again. Hello, Mexico. I just bought a tinted moisturizer too, and it no longer is my shade, so it's gonna be a fall tinted moisturizer or like a early next year tinted moisturizer, unfortunately. Unless I like at some point like bring myself to buy a transitional shade as well, so we'll see. Today, like I'm actually not using like my cosplay makeup foundation. I'm using like the Sephora like soft focus foundation, which has like minimal coverage. It's not like super covering, which I usually don't like for a foundation because I have like a lot of like dark spots and like it's kind of hard to see, but like when I'm moving you can tell like I have a scar like right here that it's hard to see, but like my dark circles and like some things just don't get hidden by it, and but I realized I don't care for stream, so no full coverage. If I could travel someplace right now, where would it be? Well, the Maldives is my like end all be all place of travel that I would like to travel to, but that's a place I haven't been to before. one I have been to before is I'd like to go to Japan because I want to take Liz to Japan because she's never been there. I want to show her like all the places that I like a lot, and then she can see all the places she wants to see while we're there too. But definitely want to show Liz Japan because she also really wants to go too. So I think it would be a really fun trip. You know, I don't think anybody likes school. That's a lie. I really liked school. Because I'm a competitive human being, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna be the best. And it was also easier than working a job, so. Madrid would be nice. Have you ever been to Madrid? Ben?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Unfortunately, no. When I said oh no, I meant like, because I've been to very limited places.
I know, babe. Right? At minimum, when we do eventually make it over there, when like the border is open again, like right now, even if you have like dual citizenship, it's very hard to get into the country. And even if I was able to get into the country with what I have, like Liz wouldn't be able to because she's not dual citizenship, and then that would be no fun because I don't want to go alone. So it's just a matter of waiting until they're open to like non like residents and dual citizenship and whatever else, but we'll see. But yeah, when we do end up going, it's gonna be for like at least probably 3 weeks. I think that would be like optimal. I was like, cause 2 weeks seems like a long time, but it's really not. Even if it's not 3 weeks, at least like 2.5 at the minimum would be ideal. I was like, because the place I want to show her is an island. And I feel like the place she wants to see is like the mainland. As fun as like a long trip is, in theory, it is like impossible for us to do because we work like every single day. And we can't take off that amount of time, which is kind of like the downside of like being like a self-employed is that.
Am I in frame right now?
I don't know, hold on. Move your arms or something. Like the top of your head is, and your eyeball.
What over here?
Just the tips of your finger. There's like paper towels and.
I was trying to figure out if I needed to put a robe on to come over there. One of those stick lights died, but like, I really do not like this white light, this white cold light on me.
Which one?
It's the ring light.
Oh, you could take this stick light.
No, there's one on the ground, I think. There's another one.
Is there?
Oh, it's fine. I can just take one of the square lights from the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
You sure? You could take the square light behind me.
No, it's fine. This one over here is fine.
we were actually talking to like some of our friends about like conventions in Egypt and guesting them and all that stuff, so that would be pretty cool too. Basically, a lot of our travel revolves around work, and if we can work while we're traveling, it's okay, but if we can't, then it's kind of like not an option for us right now. Especially right now, because we're like trying to, because around tax season every year is kind of rough for us because we have to pay back taxes. Like, for reference, I think it ranges between like $10,000 to $15,000 that I have to pay every like April for taxes because America. Unfortunately, that's just how that works. Fun fact, I did really want to do like a Bishonen Hades set, and I bought like a wig and everything for it, and like a brooch and whatnot, and a base dress, and I was just gonna like do a fashion set for it, and I never did because I didn't think anyone was gonna like it. Yeah, it's real bad. I was like, especially because like they didn't pause taxes during the pandemic at all, so people who were like really suffering really suffered. I think it was like the first year that what do you call it, COVID had happened, I was also paying for like a funeral for my dad, and it was awful because you had taxes and then the funeral, and it was like everything stacked on top of each other, and then I had lost my job because of COVID, clearly. So it was like all these things, and like the government just doesn't care. They're like, here's your $1,400, and in the grand scheme of things, that $1,400 doesn't do anything. Oh, thank you. That's really kind. That's usually my goal. Like, I just want to be like a genderless blob, you know? That's the goal in life. Genderless blob. Good Max shows. Like HBO Max. I mostly use my HBO Max to watch DC, because they have the DC hub. But I will say Our Flag Means Death was supposed to be really good. We haven't got to watch it yet, but it's supposed to be really good. Got in your what? Yeah, so basically our whole goal of like this month and probably into June is going to be like making a lot of content, so we're like ahead of our content, shipping out like all of our backlog of Patreon rewards and things like that, like, and like getting ahead of the game on the CMVs, which we pretty much had because we shot the whole like Shin Kami CMV and the Batman CMV, and both of them are edited, which is incredible, and not like us normally. And then if we shoot another CMV this month, which we technically have time to do, we'll be like ahead of the game. But also a few photo sets for Patreon, like the Marvel My Hero crossover and like the Doctor Strange one and things like that. And then probably opening the print store to like take care of some like the taxes, debt, and whatnot. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. Primordial beings of nothingness. Yeah, that's basically what I want to be. I don't know if I'm an incredible human being, but I really appreciate that. being an inspiration is probably the main goal. Like, honestly, I was like, if you can inspire people, that's good enough for me. That's where I'm trying to be. Oh, thanks. I don't know, Benedict Cumberbatch is very attractive, but I tried my best. I was very proud of my my facial hair. I got like fun fact, the facial hair I used for Doctor Strange was from Amazon, and it was a lace facial hair piece. And all I had to do was I had to like trim it a little bit so it wasn't so blunt cut. And then I had to like feather in some like eyeliner to make the edges look a little bit more natural, but it looked really good. I think it was only like $20, so it was pretty nice. I was like, it's really hard to find lace facial hair, so. Yeah, Loki is by far my favorite character in the MCU. He always will be. He's like just my favorite Marvel character in general. But I do like a bunch of Marvel characters. Art is gonna have beards though? That's kind of cool actually. Oh, I love that actually. I was like, honestly, like if we can inspire you guys and you guys can inspire us by being here for us and we can be there for you, then I think that's ultimately the goal. So, right? I was so worried about it because initially I bought it like last minute because the place I usually get beards from is Act 1, but Act 1 takes like a week and a half to get, like anywhere between a week and a week and a half to get to me, and we were leaving in like 2 or 3 days, and I was like, what is the lace beard that will get to me in 2 to 3 days? And Amazon's like, boop a doop, here you go, and next day delivery. And I was like, we'll see how it is. Like, what's the worst that can happen? And it was actually surprisingly nice. So. Oh, thank you. I love Bucket too, so I appreciate both of those sentiments. Oh my god, it is time for Sexy Dumbledore and Gandalf. I actually already have I bought prosthetic eyebrows, I bought prosthetic beard and prosthetic mustache for Gandalf and Dumbledore, and the only thing I'm worried about is I was like, I've never done that level of hold makeup, and I was like, I feel like I'm just gonna look very baby faced from this much of my face. I have these giant eyebrows and not enough wrinkles. But I'm too scared to put so for wrinkles, when I usually do them, I use rigid collodion, but I do not want to put rigid collodion anywhere underneath my eye because it's such a sensitive area, and it's so easy to like damage that area of your eye. And if you damage it, you're gonna get like really, like, you can permanently damage that area, and then when you're older it's gonna look really, really rough. So I usually try to avoid anything that's gonna damage my skin too much, but I'm getting to a point in makeup where I want to like experiment with like crazier makeups and things like that, like and scar wax and like full face prosthetics and stuff like that. And it's a little bit trickier. Rigid collodion, so it's a liquid, right? And you put it on and it adheres to your skin, and then as it dries it tightens, like the molecules shrink, so it pulls your skin, and then it creates like a divot in the skin. Honestly, next stream, or maybe when we're on the Patreon stream, I will show you guys rigid collodion, how it works, and show you like a few different like special effects things you can use for like cool effects, but also give you some tips on where not to put it and things like that. Rigid collodion's also really cool. I use it with Dobby. So I do, for Dobby, I do the like toilet paper and latex method, which if you guys don't know, I could show you that as well. And on the edges of it though, I put rigid collodion because it creates that divot into the skin and it looks more realistic. Some people use scar wax for that. I'm not good at scar wax, so I just use the rigid collodion. You know, I will look into it. I will look into safe old people makeup. Or I'll ask Allison because she did Obi-Wan Kenobi recently and it was pretty great. And I know she doesn't do any like super crazy. She does do some crazy stuff with her makeup, so I'll see what she did for that. Yeah, honestly, I could do a Dobby tutorial on like Twitch, but it wouldn't be like me putting the whole costume on. I would just like show you guys on my arm like how to layer the latex and things like that, since it takes so long, and then how to like color grade on top of the latex and how to attach like metal pieces and all the like different steps. But I could show it to you on like my arm, that way you guys can, it would be like a reasonable length of time and not like the 2.5 to 3 hours it takes me to get into that costume. Yeah, I think that would be pretty fun. And then maybe I'll take pictures of the process and make like a written tutorial for anyone who can't go to the stream or whatnot. Boop doop. Or maybe make it a YouTube video. I don't actually know how people turn Twitch streams into YouTube videos. So for day to day, I don't wear any makeup. I only wear makeup for cosplay or streaming, or if we're going out somewhere nice. But aside from that, I don't wear makeup. Just because it's better for your skin not to. I was like, I love makeup, but at the same time, I also love skincare. So it's like an equal kind of balance. I have a ton of like skincare products I use on a day-to-day basis. So that kind of like takes a priority whenever I don't need to be in makeup, I guess. I could do a mustache and beard tutorial if you guys want. Those are a little bit easier if you're using the glue-on ones. Or do you mean like one that's just makeup? Because I'm not as good with the ones that are like just eyeliner because I get impatient and then they get rushy and messy. But if you're just talking about like gluing on beards and mustaches, I've gotten pretty good at that. Because I did Gomez and then I did Doctor Strange, and then me and Liz are gonna do some fun Stranger Things stuffs too. So fun fact, my skincare routine isn't that expensive because it's all this one brand. Put it in the Angel Sanctuary, but it's like the black and white brand at Sephora. It's not The Ordinary, it's something else. I can't remember what it's called. For skincare like steps, so I do 2-part cleansing. After 2-part cleansing, I do tone, and then after toning, I do my serums, and I do like 2 or 3 serums. It depends on like if it's the morning or the evening. Evening, I always use retinol. I have a retinol cream and then a retinol eye cream, and then I also use a BHA because I have like acne, obviously. And then I have a succinct acid spot treatment, and then I put on a moisturizer, and that's my evening one. Inky List. I think that's it. Yeah. I was like, the only thing that isn't Inky List is my toner. My toner is like it's a Korean brand, I think. And then my moisturizer is like the 100-hour moisturizer from Clinique. I used to use the acne one, and I still kind of do. I'm trying to like get rid of the bottle, but the 100 moisturizer one is great for after makeup, because makeup like dries out your skin and whatnot. So yeah, so I have like combination skin. So like this air, like my like the Fu Manchu area of me, this area, is very dry for no reason. But this whole area of me is very oily for no reason. And unfortunately, that means I have very combination skin. And so I have to have something that works for both of those things and is like not super like drying. Take the day off balm and it made your vision white? That sounds horrible. The one I use, what is it called? It's a balm, but it's not a take the day off balm. It's something zero. It's not an American brand though. Clean It Zero, maybe? Yeah. That's the one I use for a balm. I've tried like American brands of like a similar consistency and it just doesn't work as well, and I don't like the smell or like the drying factor of it, but Clean It Zero has a bunch of different options, like different versions of it, and it works pretty well, and they come in giant sizes. Any suggestions? Let me go grab my toner because I can't remember what that one's the newest thing I have. It works pretty well though. Neat. So I just grabbed everything that was in that bathroom. It's not all the things. So this is the old face lotion I used to use. Basically empty. I'm just trying to use all of it because I have like an anxiety with throwing anything away. So we're just gonna use the rest of that. But now I use the other Clinique one. Like once or twice a week, I will like exfoliate with this. I don't use it that often because it's really expensive. But this brand, I use so much of this brand. So this is the retinol I use, right? Inky List. This is the BHA I use. And this is the spot treatment I use. And then this is the toner I use. It's by Peach Slices. It's for acne, but it's good for like oily combination skin. Clears and helps prevent breakouts. It's got BHA and AHA to exfoliate skin and unclog pores. It's got Cica to reduce the appearance of redness and calm irritation. Lactic acid visibly reduces the appearance of scars and dark spots, which I'm trying to get rid of these pock marks from high school. And it's clean, non-toxic formulation. So it's been working pretty well for me, if I'm being honest. My cleansers are in the other bathroom, but that's just like a little bit of stuff. You should consider just having like a small moisturizer that you just put around your nose. Sometimes like it adds an extra step, but honestly, like your skin will thank you for it. I don't think I've ever tried Sunday Riley, honestly. Yeah. Boop boop. Hold on, I'd be like one of those beauty gurus. Wow. So, yeah. Anywho, that was my part 2 of the Howl coat and also skincare update for you guys. You know, it's very important, very important. I am probably gonna get off and figure out what we're gonna do for dinner, because it's like some ungodly time and we have not had dinner. We had lunch and espresso, and that's about it today. You're very welcome. You could always ask me about skincare tips. I'm like mildly obsessed with it. I'm also gonna get an IPL soon. I'll let you know how that goes. Boop boop. So I actually have the retinol by something Elephant, whatever that brand is, and it actually breaks me out more than this retinol, and it's like 2 or 3 times more expensive, weirdly enough. So Drunk Elephant, is that what it is? I think. But yeah, fun fact. But it was good hanging out with you guys. Thanks for, and then next Monday I'll do a slightly earlier stream. Do you guys want to do like 3, like noon, 3, or 6? Pick one. Noon, 3, 6. Which one vibes with you guys? Three or 6? Okay, 3 or 6. What are we feeling? 3? 3 or 6. 6. I'll make a poll for 3 or 6 on Instagram, and we'll see which one wins. Looks like 6 is pretty popular, so maybe we'll just do 6, because I feel like that's early enough for people, but late enough for other people. Like some people are at work or school, and then other people have to get up early the next day. So I think 6 is a good middleman, maybe. But yeah, and we'll finish up the Howl coat. Except for like, there's like some little details. There might be like one other Howl week just for like, because I want to add rhinestones and like ornate trims and stuff like that. But that'll be like, that's not really construction so much as it is like embellishments and whatnot. But anywho, thanks for coming to hang out with me. Yeah, this is all I got for you. Have a good night. Sleep well, eat something, make some tea, you know, read a fan fiction, self-care, you know, okay? I love you guys. Goodbye.